Hello boys and welcome to SFX0 Profile Production and next part of Sakura Succubus 5. So let's jump into where we left off last time. Ifumi is pressing herself against my arm while we walk in the garden. That's what I surmise from this picture at least. This being the case, Ifumi and I soon find ourselves strolling arm in arm throughout the palace's expansive gardens. Ifumi head is resting upon my shoulder and her arm is looped through my own. There's a bit of a breeze, but it's quite gentle. Said breeze stirs in the leaves of the nearby trees, and it makes the decoration of Ifumi's hair cling together like wind chimes. The weak wintry sunlight plays upon the contours of Ifumi's face and illuminates the irises so that they seem to glow. She really does look beautiful. She is so beautiful, in fact, I'd almost forget what I want to ask her, almost, but not quite. Hey, Ifumi. Yes? Ifumi peers at me, her head tilted curiously to one side. What is it there? Is something the matter? I guess you could say that. I was just wondering, you didn't tell the princess we were engaged, did you? Oh, that. Ifumi giggles amused, her purple eyes winking. I did not say it, no. Not in so many words. I had no desire, you understand, to further fan the flames of discord after my announcement on national television. So it is something Stephanie assumed? It would appear so, yes. She did ask me about the nature of our relationship before we entered the parlor, which put me in quite a tricky situation. I was unsure what exactly to say, so I responded to her innocent queries. I did not wish to cause her undue shock by informing her of your harem. Where she is to discover you were seeing multiple women, I fear she might be quite perturbed. As a princess, she is very sheltered, and she knows precious little about the outside world. Wishing to be considerate, I stressed only that you had been in a loving relationship for almost a year, and we were very close. I told her that you were my beloved, and that I would not countenance life without you. And, well, Ifumi smiles bashfully. She must have surmised from my praises that you are my fiancé. I did not care to correct her on the matter, not when she sounded so very pleased for us, so I chose instead to humor her in the misunderstanding. I only hope I have not caused any offense. No, it's fine. I'll never be offended by the thought of marrying you, Ifumi. I'd consider it an honor, in fact, if we were engaged. Truly? Of course. I smiled and turned to press a quick fleeting kiss against Ifumi's cheek. I used to be self-conscious about public displays of affection, but since spending so much time with my harem of Succubi, I've become more open to the idea. I've been kissed and embraced in public so often, engaging in such an act myself shouldn't hurt, not from time to time. Besides, it's not like there's anybody else in the garden to see my closeness with Ifumi. We're quite alone. I wouldn't discount the idea of one day being your fiancé, but it would cause all sorts of complications. I can't marry you on the sly behind others' back. It wouldn't be fair on them. I need to announce my intentions beforehand, and I know they'll be jealous though. If possible, I'd like to marry all of you. Here I sigh. But polyamorous marriage aren't legal in Japan. Our relationship wouldn't be recognized, which would kind of defeat the point. A traditional wedding service would be nice, I agree, yet it is not a necessity. We can always marry in spirit. Symbols can have just as much meaning, if not more, than the inflexible, old-fashioned letter of the law. Japan is not the only country in the world, however, where marriages can be officiated. Such weddings may not be legal where we live, but in other more open-minded countries, if we press her body closer to mine, pensive smile playing about her pretty face, well, it's something to consider in any case. Perhaps we shall cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, I suppose we will. For starters, I still need to properly tell my mother about all of my relationships. You mean you say you have yet to do so, despite my proclamation? I gave it an honest shot, but she didn't believe me. She seemed to find the idea of me being so popular hilarious. She laughed right in my face, or in my ear rather. She stopped laughing pretty sharpish though after Ayu broke into my apartment and had some stern words with her. So I have spoken to your mother already. Hifumi pouts. I was not aware of that now. I'm beginning to feel quite left out. I had hoped that I might meet your mother first. I flatter myself I would make a much better daughter-in-law than Ayu. As cute as Ayu is, her culinary skills pale in comparison to mine, and she cannot even beat a futon. She does not have the temperament of a wife, not at all. I had to agree with you there. She's too much of a diva to settle down. That's the impression I get, at least. But maybe she'll surprise me. There's more to Ayu than meets the eye. She can be pretty affectionate when she wants to be. Indeed, she can be, but so too I can. Fumi smiles and gives my arm an affectionate squeeze. You are my beloved fiancé, and I would be prepared to sacrifice anything for you. You need only ask. In my heart, at least, you would always be my number one concern. Later that evening, once the sun has already set, I found myself seated in the luxurious dining room of Astoria's palace. I've not yet been in dining room given last night. I was so weary I went straight to bed without eating. Then early in the day I took lunch with both Hifumi and Stephanie in the parlor with its pale blue decor. There's just water in this. The dining room, as I soon discovered, is every bit extravagant as the rest of the palace. Its walls, like those of the parlor and my bedroom, are blue, the floor hard creamy marble. A large table sits in the center of the room, upon which a large vase full of purple flowers I can't name stands. Every inch of the room has been cleaned to perfection, the marble floor so well swept in it practically seems to shimmer. I'm in a way of this room, as it seems is hazel. Whoa-wee. My Succubus companion, who's sitting across from me at the table, looks around, her eyes agog. This is the first time I've seen Hazel since my arrival in the story, and I'm glad of her company. Her familiar face makes the newness of the surroundings feel less imposing. I'm glad I'm not the only one stunned by the splendor. This place is like incredible. It's even grander than I thought it'd be. It feels almost too good for a gal like me. I'm afraid all this finery wasted on my uncultured self. I mean, jeez. Elsa picks up one of the forks for further inspection. Her eyes wide like goose eggs. Are these like solid gold? Don't be silly. Marina, sitting beside her, rolls her eyes. That would not be at all practical. Solid gold is heavy and can easily tarnish. It's more likely the culture is plated instead in gold leaf. Gold leaf, is it? I guess that makes sense. So Sorry for being a dope. I'm just like not used to all this fighting, you know. Also not a showy girl, even if you are. I feel way more home in the gym or the pool than I do in posh places like this. I'm starting to get shivers. Oh dear. Stephanie, who of course is sitting at the end of the table, frowns. You aren't cold, are you, Miss Williams? I know it can be quite chilly during this time of year, and my clothes are well... And your clothes are well... Stephanie glanced at Hazel's exposed stomach, and the muscle will ripple beneath it and flushes. They do not seem the warmest. Would you like Lizzie to fetch you a blanket? That might help alleviate your chills. What? Oh no. Hazel smiles a bachelor and shakes on one head in Stephanie's direction. That's all right, Steffi. Steffi, is that familiar with the princess already? It's very Hazel, I guess, to give people silly nicknames, even princesses, but it seems to be a bit too informal. I wonder how Elizabeth will take that. She seems pretty serious. I glance over to Elizabeth. Stephanie is indefatigable maid who's standing at her mistress' side, but to my surprise she doesn't react to Hazel's over-familiarity. Maybe she's less stuffy than she appears. I'm not actually cold, it was more a figure of speech. If I'm shivering, that's because the place is so incredible I'm in a way. Oh, I see. That is a relief, I suppose. Stephanie smiles hesitantly. I would hate for you to be uncomfortable as I value the treasured guest in my home. I want you to stay to be a pleasant one. I'm sure it'd be pleasant enough. How can it not be when you're so attentive? This is a lot to wrap my head around. I'm not used to fine dining like Ifumi or Marina here, but I'm sure I get the swing of things eventually. That's a spirit. I am certain with a bit of practice you will be quite at home even in the elegance such as this. Do you really think so? Marina arches one neatly plucked eyebrow. I knew a few doubts myself. There's nothing about Hazel where I would call elegant. But no matter if she makes too much of a nuisance of herself, I will not hesitate to set her straight. Marina shouts a warning look at Hazel's direction, which makes her flush. Hey, what is this supposed to mean? I'd be as good as gold, you see. I hold you to that now. Marina bows her head before Stephanie. Please forgive us, for your highness, for talking in such length as your dinner table. Our entry will get cold. Shall we commence with our meal? Ah yes, please help yourself, and do let me know if you want seconds. The cook always makes too much food, and I can never finish it myself. I'm most gratified to have you guests over. There you see, Marina. Steffi is happy to have guests over, me included. You're getting your panties in a bunch about nothing. Please. Marina rolls her eyes. I'm not a little girl. I do not wear panties. I only ever wear tongues. Stephanie, who had a spoonful of soup halfway to her lips, watches at this. Hazel, however, seems quite unconcerned by Stephanie's discomfort and triumphantly retorts, "Ha! You think you're so mature, Marina, but I'm even more of an adult than you are. I don't wear underwear at all." Is it? Stephanie, who bravely attempted to take another mouthful of her soup, sputters again, this time spraying a fine film of soup across the tabletop. "Oh, my lady, are you all right?" This is bends by Stephanie's side and pats her back. "Would you like me to fetch you a glass of water?" Oh, no. Cough, cough. Oh, all right. So must have gone down the wrong way, that's all. This is nothing for you to fuss over, Lizzie. I would rather that you tend to our guests instead. Well, if that is what you would prefer, then let us give Stephanie a backup concentrated rub and scans the table once more. Ifumi is elegantly sipping at her soup while Hazel and Marina are engaged in a lively debate. I don't want any part to play in it. I'd rather eat my soup silently like Ifumi, but alas. Hey Hiroki, what do you think? I look at Hazel with some trepidation and reply, my soup spoon still pinched between my fingers. About mine and Marina's taste in underwear, or lack of it, which us do you think most appealing? Tell me, if you don't have underwear and wears a skirt, that's very daring. And tell me, if you don't have underwear and pants on, well, it's not really anything special about it because you're still hiding everything. But most people wear skirts have some kind of underwear on if they're not like to be daring. Which of us do you think is the most appealing? Does it matter? Marina was rather too mature for such conversation sites. Hiroki is fond of the pair of us. We do not need to fight for his affection knowing this. Clamoring for further attention is childish, and it is uncouth, moreover, to discuss one's underwear at the dinner table. Can you not see that you are making the princess uncomfortable? Oh no, I'm quite alright. Carry on as you were. I wouldn't want to come between your conversation. Besides, it's really interesting listening to you conversation. I have been cooped up in the palace for so long. I have no idea how other women communicate. Trust me, other women are not half so brazen as Hazel. She is a law unto herself. So you say, but Hazel stabs a finger in Marina's direction. You're the one who started talking about underwear first, Marina. Now, Haruka, what do you think? Which of us do you think is the hottest? Well, talk about loaded question. No matter what I say, I'm going to upset somebody. I doubt Hazel will let me squirm out of this direct inquiry with a meanly mouth. I think you both are attractive. She seems awfully worked up for some reason, so I guess I might as well bite the bullet. I inhale and then... Well, I could say I like Hazel, but I don't like Hazel in general because I never forget anything, and she did betray us. I could say also go with Marina, but that will upset Hazel, and I don't want to upset anyone. And if I say Stephanie, that might... I won't upset any of those two, and I don't think we will see Stephanie outside of this story again, so... Well, we might not. I have no idea how this story is going, because I only know one episode after this, and then I don't know anything more. So, let's say Stephanie, because that's what I chose the first time I was around this. Because it will be most fun. Stephanie stares at me, eyes wide, after my admittedly dark-shades remark. Do you really like me, Mr. Ogisawara? Well, why not? I smile, amused by how flustered Stephanie looks. You're plenty cute, why wouldn't I like you? Cute? I'm not sure what to say to that. I'm a member of the opposite sex has never addressed me thus before. I'm starting to feel embarrassed. But it's pleasant sort of embarrassment. Red face, Stephanie cups her cheeks with her palms. What am I supposed to do? Hey, Hiroki. Here's a pat. That's not fair. Stephanie wasn't one of your options. She is cute, I admit, but that's cheating. Hazel gives me a shit quick beneath the table and... Oof. I gasp in pain and double over. My right hand, which is still gripping my soup spoon, twitches and then... Oh no. As it in slow motion, my spoon slips from my fingers. It arcs to the floor, hitting it with a metallic clamp, but not before it processes, staining my thighs with soup. It's a good thing my soup was only lukewarm, else they might have smarted. This unpleasantly sticky sensation, however, is hardly welcome. My pants are going to get ruined. What a pain. I reach for my napkin, meaning to dab myself dry, but... And that's the picture. So... That was all I have for Sakura Succubus 5 this time then, so hit like and share. See you next time. Bye 5!